Hello and good morning from High Gear Transmissions in beautiful Memphis, Tennessee. Today I'm here to talk to you about the AX-5 transmission. The AX-5 transmission has three main cases. The center plate here is made out of cast iron. That differentiates it from its counterpart, the AX-15. The AX-15 has an aluminum center plate. Also, the AX-5 has got a 14 spline, fine splined input. The AX-15 has got a 10 spline input. Now, the most common problems that we receive with the AX-5 is this bushing right here. As you can see, the shifter tower does not have a bushing in it. Typically what happens is this bushing becomes old, hard, brittle, it crumbles away, and it leaves nothing for the shifter to rest or ride on when you're shifting. So if your shifter is floppy, it's too much slop, or you're having trouble going into gear or it's popping out of gear, the first thing I would check is that bushing. It's probably bad or gone or going out. So I would check that. Now another problem that we have is often when we ship units, if you buy a unit, you're moving it from one location to the next, it's easy for it to fall into reverse gear. Now, this is your reverse idler gear. It's free floating. So when you jostle it too hard, it will fall into gear and it will lock up on the first gear slider, which is the gear that it rides with. And even though it will be in neutral gate, it's going to act like it's in gear. It's going to lock up and you're not going to be able to put it in gear or shift at all. The fix for that's very easy. Over here on the passenger side, there is a reverse backup switch. You pop that switch out, make sure you don't have any fluid or the fluid's going to go everywhere. Now, on this side, this is the tab that switch actuates, or that switch is actuated by. You just want to pop it back into position. So it's going to be forward. You stick a screwdriver, a flathead or something in there, you move it forward, pop it back into neutral gate, and you'll be good to go. Next is your blocking rings and your bearings. Now whenever we build one of these units, we replace every blocking ring and every bearing, whether it's good or bad, because even if they are in good used condition, they're going to go out real quick, and it's better to just replace the blocking rings. Now, this is your blocking ring, this is your clutch cone. These little lines in here is what give it its friction, what give it its grab, and if you can put your finger in there and pull back, and it's grabbing your finger, it's likely in good condition. Another way to test is this gap right here. You want to have some gap in between the blocking ring and the gear. You push down and you twist at the same time, and if it won't turn, then you know the blocking ring is grabbing. Just like that. If you can push and turn and your blocking ring is worn out, you need to replace it. If you don't have good gap between the blocking ring and the gear, then it's worn out and you need to replace it. Every one of them. Now, fifth gear. We have a lot of trouble with fifth gear. It's a small unit. It's not designed to take a lot of torque. And as you can see, the fifth gear, the teeth on both the main shaft and the counter shaft fifth break off, and it's not good. So what we do is we replace the fifth gears with new fifth gears. We put new needle bearings in each one, and we put a fifth gear saver on the back here over this snap ring. Typically the snap ring pops off, too much torque is applied, the gears push this way and it pushes the snap ring off of the main shaft. We take our fifth gear saver, which is 2½ moons, machined to fit over the main shaft. Just clamp it over the main shaft, it goes over the shaft as well as the snap ring, and it allows for much greater applied torque. Another problem is the needle bearings, which always get replaced underneath fifth gear, often pit and wear into the counter shaft. It rides right here. Often it will groove into the shaft. The needles will wear and pit. It will create little pits in the shaft. It'll make all kinds of grumbling noises, and it's not good. Likewise, this bearing rides right here, and you can see where it's starting to wear into the shaft here. Wear's not too bad, but for an example. Now, when you take this unit apart, this bearing is going to fall apart. These little needle rollers will fall out. If you aren't going to replace it, as long as the needle rollers are in good shape, you can repack that and put it back in and it'll be alright. Likewise with the front, The front cluster bearing is the exact same way. When you go to take it apart, it's going to fall apart. It's best to just replace all the bearings. But if you can't replace the bearings and the needle are good, they're not pitted or worn, you can repack them with some grease and you'll be good to go. Now, first gear and third gear. First gear and third gear, this is first, this is third. Often, the needle bearing underneath first gear and third gear will ride with the gear. So instead of the gear spinning on the bearing, spinning on the shaft, you've got the gear and the bearing spinning at the same time on the shaft, and it creates grooves in the gear itself, and it creates a real bad whining noise. So when you're taking your unit apart, check to see the bearing surface on the inside of the gear is not trundled or grooved in any kind of way. If it's not, you'll be good to go. It does it real bad on first gear, but I have seen it as well on third gear. The only other thing that I would look for is your forks. Your aluminum forks, aluminum riding on a steel slider. The aluminum's going to wear. Here's some wear here, as well as here, right here. If you've got any kind of wear, it's just best to replace the forks. We replace forks all the time. We put new forks in them when we go to get, a good used fork that's not worn. And when we go back together with them, if you're rebuilding yourself, be sure not to leave these bolts out. Because if you leave these bolts out, fifth gear as well, when you put it back together, you'll go to shift. You'll shift into gear, you'll feel it detent, but there won't be no gear because this shaft is literally sliding in and out of this fork and it's still sitting in neutral cake. Other than that, it's a good little transmission. We build a lot of them and we like them. We love Jeeps, everything to do with Jeeps. If you have any questions about transmissions, transfer cases, front and rear differentials, just give us a call. We'll be happy to help you. Thanks for watching.